Turns out he was there on a terrorism charge. He was the imam of some mosque in New York, and somebody was trying to sell a Stinger missile to somebody, and he translated the document, the bill of sale, and he got wrapped up in this terrorism case. So I get called into the lieutenant's office the next day. So I hear my name, Kiriakou, lieutenant's office, immediately. And they have this guy's picture on a computer screen. You know this guy? I said, I don't know him. What'd you say to him? I said, nice to meet you. What did he say to you? He said, nice to meet you too. Well, after you walked out, he called a number in Pakistan and they told him to kill you. I said, get the fuck out of here. No, don't do that. We've been looking for a reason to transfer him out. So every time I see this guy, I give him the stink eye, right? And then he gives me the stink eye back. But then the more I thought about it, the more I thought, that doesn't make any sense. Why would he call a number in Pakistan when they don't speak Arabic in Pakistan? That just didn't make sense. So I saw him in the yard, and I went up to him, and he got kind of scared, like he was going to try to defend himself. Did the cops say anything to you about me? And he said, yeah. I said, what did they say to you? And he said, they told me that after we met, you called a number in Washington, and they told you to kill me. And I said, oh, they did they? So I went back to the law library, and I looked this up, and this was a Class D felony. It was conspiring to commit violence in a federal facility. It's punishable by up to 5 years in prison. So I wrote it in my letter, and I sent it to my attorney, and I didn't give it a second thought. I didn't know my attorney was friends with Arianna Huffington, who then put it on Huffington Post with this banner headline, millions of hits. The next thing I know, Jake Tapper drives to the prison to interview me, and it's everywhere from CNN to Playboy to The Economist and Time Magazine, when Time Magazine was a thing, and NPR's calling the prison to interview me. And the next thing I know, I'm called to the warden's office. So the warden calls me in. He's like, I'm going to send you to solitary right now. And I thought, is now the time to be humble before the warden, or should I stake my claim? And I said, warden, with all due respect, I've gone nose to nose with Al-Qaeda, with Hezbollah, with the Iranians, and you want me to be afraid of you? Give me some credit. He said, yeah, we'll see what you say when you've spent some time in solitary.